Hello everyone, welcome to Tony Talks. To all our beautiful subscribers, we say thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're new here, we are happy you find us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit on that notification button so that you will be notified for more upcoming videos. In the comment section, please know the regretful comment. Thank you for watching. Till I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.
About why a child might decide to be different in a family. I said something must have gone wrong. I've had parents called me and share experience of what they are going on. You'll be shocked that among our people, the rate of Gabriel that we have is increasing because of trauma. Many people today are bitter and very toxic because of their childhood trauma. But because we live in a society where we are from a society where trauma is regarded as nothing, where parents are considered to be the all in all, that whatever a parent do is absolute and perfect and correct, where religion has been used to cage our mind, that when you talk about whatever your parents is doing, if they are doing good or they are doing bad, especially when they do bad, and you try to talk, you are considered, there are so many things they will say about you. Some will even curse you. Some will even say you are cursed. In our society, people are not allowed to talk. We are quick to shut victims up. We are quick to tell them, what is the need of talking? Why did you bring it out? Why did you do this? Shanko, no, you're welcome. And because of this, people bottle things up. And you want to wonder why somebody will get married and one will buy the other. Something has gone wrong somewhere before they got married. It was not the marriage per se that went wrong that caused that person to behave the way they behaved. Or somebody outside, you meet somebody outside and there is argument. Before you know it, somebody is ready to buy the other person. Or the way some people talk, the way some people respond. If you look at our social media space, except you want to lie to yourself, the kind of comments you see people write, you wonder if they are normal. You might not be seeing it. We that are doing content, I won't say I'm doing content. We that are speakers, I will call myself an influencer. I'm not doing content. I regard myself as an influencer. When I put a post, and I tend to read comments from different platform, apart from my platform, I will see comments and I will say, wow. Sometimes when I see some comments, I will avoid them because I know responding to such comments does not make sense. Now, Kemi Olunloyo's daddy just passed away and she came out. She's been saying some things. I'm going to read something for us. Then I am going to also allow us to listen to one or two of our videos. Very touching. When I was listening to those videos, my body was bringing out goosebumps from my head like this. You might not believe her, and you may believe her. But whatever it is a story. And I'm not saying all the story might be 100% correct. She might mix things up. But to wish away everything she said is unfair on her. Now, she shared her childhood and the pain and emotional psychological things that she went through. So I want us to listen to one or two of the videos and maybe we'll talk one or two things out of the video. I have seen people calling her a crazy woman. calling her that she's not normal, that she's this, she's that. If what she said she went through is 100% true, then she has even tried to still hold it up and do what she's doing. I will give it to her. And I will not be surprised. I am not saying it is so. I will not be surprised if she's undergoing some therapy or treatment. You can wish her away. You can rubbish her pain. And she has said one thing. She said she will never be part of her father's burial. And I think people should respect her wish. She said she's not going to mourn the man because that man does not deserve to be mourned. The video of the woman, that Ronke woman, I was able to see the video of that Ronke woman that she was talking about. You know, she kept mentioning, Ronke, you destroyed our family when my father married you. Ronke, you destroyed our family. Let me use a speaker. Let's use speaker.
Bluetooth
She
mode.
kept saying, Ronke, you destroyed our family
Connected.
when my father married you. You know. But anyway, let's just go to our page.
People on board of that helicopter died after.
America Rogo. Okay. I'm not going to post the video, woman.
Hi, is this?
Just hold on. I want to go to the video, then we listen to one or two of them. I have actually penned one or two to listen to that I know I've filled.
Dr. Kemi.
Let's listen from
Part 3.
one.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Kemi Olunloyo. It's been maybe 3 or 4 days since my father passed away, and I wanted to reply to everybody that's been posting everywhere on my platforms. Condolences, accept my condolences. You know, these stupid lines. I'm not accepting anybody's condolences because I am not condoling with anybody. So if you want to condole with my father on his death or my family, you need to go to facebook.com/Omololu Olunloyo. There's a Facebook his grandchildren built for him 13 years ago. Facebook.com/Omololu Olunloyo. You can go condole over there. I have forgiven my dad for everything he did. I started talking about my own life, Kemi Talks Life, in 2019. I stopped at a point. Many of the videos are on YouTube. At one point, I stopped and I picked up on my 60th birthday to tell that story on and continue based on the hashtag.
This is the woman she's talking of. That woman, Ronke, that's the picture. In case you are wondering whose picture is this.
Reposting the same post and it's still viral. Because many of you don't believe what you are reading actually happened to me. Remember, I'm talking about my own life, Kemi Talks Life. I started putting videos on Kemi Talks Life on all my platforms last week, and all of you ignored it. I did videos, Kemi Talks Life. I talked about IPOB. I talked about Hush Puppy. I talked about Mrs. Funlaya Kuti. I talked about deaths and murderers and all kinds of assassinations in Nigeria. But none of you have watched it. I removed them all from Instagram because there was not even activity there. They're on Facebook with 1 comment, 2 comment. Then when my father died, you started watching them. At the end of the day, I just want to say this to you. You don't know what's going on in my family, and I don't know what's going on in your family. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing. Okay, my father, Victor Olunloyo Olunloyo, is 2 different people. He was one person to the world, and he was another person in his house. My father destroyed our family unit. My father tortured us as kids. He tortured us emotionally and physically. My father ruined the family unit. I have a lot to say, but on his birthday on Monday, he would have turned 90. I would say a lot on that day. I would post a lot of things. I would post a lot of my conversations with him. My father marketed me to the world as his favorite daughter, his favorite child. He also marketed himself to me as that. But I was far from being his favorite. My father used me for a lot of things. My father did a lot to all of us. When I say used me, as in he took advantage of some of my own positive energies. My father was into juju heavily. And the way he got into it, I will say more in details on his birthday. My father was into occult practices, and I called my father out on his 80th birthday. If some of you remembered on Twitter, I called my dad out in so many tweets on his
Before we continue, let me just
Olunloyo.
pause a little bit here. She said her daddy is into occultic practices, into serious juju. You want to doubt her? You want to say she's lying? Are you a Nigerian? Do you know any politician? Are you familiar with our politician and their ways? Before you say she's lying, that
Or at 80, I don't know, you can go search. You know how to
is not into juju. The quest for power, the quest for position, the quest of I must get this post, I must be there, it must be me. Are you a Nigerian? Are you familiar with what goes on in Nigeria?
After I called my father out, he went to Pastor Adeboye and said he wanted to become born again, and he did. My father had me kidnapped. He organized a kidnap. I'll tell you the details. My father, who always said I was his favorite child to the world, I wasn't. You've read some of my mom's stories too. You've read a lot. My sisters, the rest of the family. I'm one of the chosen ones. I know I'm special, and I know what God brought me here for. They wanted to kill my star. They tried, but they didn't. But they killed Tayo. They killed my brother's star. My brother that died at 51, who was in the Alimos Go car with me, remember he lost almost half of his brain and he became paralyzed for 43 years and lived with seizures.
Somebody said Ronke is my childhood friend, and I don't think she knew what was happening in their home front. It's very likely she might not, for real. As the woman, it's possible she might not. And it's possible she does. And it's possible she might not. So, for Mimota Monfi, you might be right. She might not be in the know to know what was going on. Sherry Isaleoro Oni Egbin, Iliola Oni Yonu. Somebody should translate it for me. Isaleoro Oni Egbin, Iliola Oni Yonu. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí n dàbí onílé ọ̀kan. Now, this woman Ronke might really not. The rich also cry. Thank you very much.
No livelihood. Tayo was buried.
I have seen a case. I've had a case where a woman was married to a man. Okay.
After he died in 2021.
Please,
I was the one in the car with him. You've read his story. Tayo was reading the 9 times table of multiplication at 5 years old. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2, 18. He was the other mathematician. He would have been great. They killed his destiny. Daddy, you ruined the family unit. Daddy brought in a woman, Ronke, Ronke Olunloyo. That is my father's wife that all of you were calling my mother last night. Ronke did an interview with Galaxy Television, and all of you said, oh, she speaks such good English. Like, that's where Kemi got it from. Ronke is not my mother. Ronke is my sister's age mate. I'm 60. My sister's 61, going on 62. Ronke is about 65. Ronke was a campaign worker for my father in 1983 during the governorship campaign, and she was dating my father. Ronke got pregnant with her first child with my father. And then the whole family went into ruckus. Everybody was fighting. My mother was angry because my mother married an intellectual. My mother has done a lot of mistakes. I don't talk to her anymore because she also got into the juju thing. My mother married an intellectual, a man who got a PhD at 26 years old. And he turned into what? A polygamist? Not that polygamists are not good, but the way it happened to my family. After her daughter was born, Wura, who's my half-sister, she got pregnant again with a boy, Olumide. That's what she wanted. Okay, Ronke was our classmate at staff school. She walked to school with my sister, and now she became my father's concubine. Ronke Shonaike married my dad and became Ade Ronke Olunloyo. She has another daughter, Shubomi. These are family secrets and family truths. In every family, there's the one child who is called the black sheep, and that child is the one that tells the truth and speaks out. I'm not representing my siblings. I don't talk to my siblings. But some of them cannot talk out like I am. I'm not talking for them. I'm talking for myself. When Ronke came into our family, my father started all manners of occult things. It's too long. It's too painful. I will try my best and tell it. I will try my best. From the moment she came in there, she attempted to poison my mother once by giving a house girl poison, which sent my mother to the hospital. She almost died. There has been stories on Ronke's side too, where my mother put a coffin under Olumide's room. Olumide was living in Malete with my dad, and this boy had a room, and under his bed there was a coffin. Those small coffins they call shigidi. Ronke says it's my mom that put it there. They have had their versions of stories. It's not to say polygamy is not a good thing. I've seen good families with good polygamy. But an academic person who now through this, don't forget that Ronke had a baby after my father became governor briefly, I believe the next year or something. You're like, you're first lady of the state and your husband just impregnated a campaign worker, and next thing you know, our family was never the same again. Ronke does not talk to me. My oldest sister has said that towards the end of Daddy's life, nobody had access to Daddy. After the 2021 stroke, they couldn't talk to Daddy on the phone because Ronke did not give anybody access. My parents are separated, and my mother lives somewhere in Ibadan. I don't know. You see how my mother, my sister, and the house girl beat me up? You saw all those.
Yeah.
A lot of it is spiritual and it's occult. In anything that happens in the house, my father will step there, and the moment he goes, fights start. We don't talk to our dad on the phone because if you talk to Dad, everything you're planning to do, it goes out, it fizzles out. If you have a deal you have to make, you have something, even if you don't tell him, the fact that you spoke to him, the spiritual thing goes out, and you notice. People will pick him up from the airport, their car will break down, engines will go. Dr. Kemi. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Kemi. Olunloyo.
Emma Bino, you know it was in series, so pata. Imagine somebody's ending this way. Lesson for all. We are not judging, we want to learn new.
Lawyer, with regards to my dad's death, some of you have polygamous families, and some of
Okay, me more time, mo ti gbọ́. All right, I'll be expecting your call after the show.
monogamous families, but the story of the Olunloyo family did not start with Ronke. We've had, problems with my mom and her sister-in-laws. We have problems with so many issues, and my father.
Please don't attack Madam Mimota. She said Mrs. Ronke is her friend, a good friend. So am I attacking one? She might have one or two informations. Am I attacking one? Kemi has spoken her own. This woman spoke too. Mama play a video once in Basheton. But I want us to listen to Kemi first. Maybe 2 or 3 of Kemi's video. Then we listen to this woman. So Joe, it might even I am wrong. Kemi's father might even marry only her mother, and something will go wrong too. This is all about parenting gone wrong. Something went wrong somewhere.
Part of it, and my grandmother, my late grandmother, Elijah Bintu Tejimola Olunloyo. I lived with her for about 2 or 3 years just to get to school on time because I had asthma. My mom and Elijah didn't get along. There was just so much going on in that whole family unit stuff. When they brought Benga to our house, Benga was born outside the marriage. Benga was born the same year my mother was pregnant with me, and my dad had another affair. And that woman, Mrs. Akere, took care of her son and left him in a village kind of area. So it was when we were 12, Benga was 12, I was 12, that they brought Benga to UI to come and live with us. For me, as the second born, meeting someone that's supposedly born the same year and born outside, I did not really take to Benga very easily. You know what I mean? Today, both of us are 60. And this is the history of Kapoor. You hear these rumors. Nobody can tell these stories. I'm the only one. When we were growing up, there were arguments, there were fights and all, but he was coming from a very illiterate background. He was living with his grandmother in one of the small villages. And when they brought him in, the goal was to integrate him with all of us. And Benga would join us in school, staff school, Aberdeen. All the schools were in UI. And his mother was married to somebody else. Mrs. Akiri was married to one Elijah Akiri. And she had other children on that side. And I don't know why, but my dad will take us to go to Mrs. Akiri's house to go play with them. In other words, all of us in our family, my sisters, Shola, my brother, all of us would go there. And then we'll come home. We're just kids, right? But something wasn't right, because Mrs. Akiri was still there. That's what I saw. And I don't know why my mom took this and allowed it. If we say allow, there were times when my grandmother, Elijah, was controlling my mom. She just has to do what they tell her to do. My mom had my brother Ayobami, and in 1977, and my grandmother on the mother's side had to come and live with us to take care of the baby. When Daddy got his appointment with Obasanjo, and we had to move to Lagos, NSTDA, National Science and Technology Development Agency. When my dad got that job, what happened was we now decided that we wanted to go to Lagos. We love going to Lagos. All the kids in the cars, 2 cars, government cars, FGN and CVU number plates, and we just go to Lagos a lot. We would stay in Federal Palace Hotel in the top suite, the penthouse suite, and it became like our house there. President Obasanjo was the head of state, and Daddy was working for him. And the NSTDA will be like Ministry of Science and Technology now. So we would just go and have fun. We loved the beach and things. So on this one fateful time, my Auntie Ore Olunloyo, and her family were doing a wedding. Auntie Ore was married to my late Uncle Femi, and Auntie Ore, most of you know Auntie Ore, she writes children's books. You've seen her name on books and stuff. So the George family, that's her maiden name, Ore George. The George family were having a wedding, so we were all going to that wedding. And they took all of us, the kids. After we're settling down in Lagos, so off to Federal Palace Hotel, penthouse suites, everything. When all of a sudden, We were supposed to leave at 10 a.m. in the morning. My mother cooked all the food, and she put all the food in the car, pots of efo, pots of omiobe, just different things we're going to eat and things. And we were excited, we were ready. And Daddy left the house and told Mommy he'll be back by 12 noon, and we'll start going on the express to Lagos. My dad did not come back till 7 p.m. He said he was going to the office. There were no cell phones. The landlines, you can only use it to call the office, and if no one's speaking in the office, then we didn't know where my dad was. Dad came in at 6:37, and my mom said we should not go. It's too late. In those days, 1978, armed robbers were on the roads too, but not as bad. But at night, it's not good to travel with all the children and stuff. We'll be tired. By the time we get to Lagos, Daddy said, let's go. When we left, the driver got in the cars, 2 drivers. I was in the CVU in front. Army green car. That was the government official cars then. They have CVU plates and FGM plates. I got in there with Tayo. My brother was 8, I was 13, and Daddy. We were in that car. The other car had the other children. My brother, Ayobami, most of you know Ayobami. He's a pastor at Redeem, and he's a Cambridge graduate, engineer, name it. Very brilliant. Ayobami was a baby, so he didn't go with us. With Mama in the house and the house girl. So we now all got in the car, Yemi, Benga, Shola, everybody else from Kenya, they were all in the second car with my mom. And what happened next will shock you. As we drove through the Ibadan-Lagos Expressway, we arrived in Lagos at 7 p.m., 7:30, and as we drove right into Ikorodu Road, we were attacked. Throughout the trip, we didn't turn on the radio. In Nigeria at that time, 1978, there were no cell phones or anything, or no internet. But the radio would be the one that would have warned us that there's a riot going on in Ikorodu Road, Ali Moscow riot, with all the students and hoodlums and everybody. Any cars that came in, they were just robbing people, stopping them, burning cars. It was a really violent riot. But the moment they saw our car with the plate CVU and FGN, they smashed through rocks. One of the rocks opened Tayo's head and took half of his brain. As soon as the car stopped, boom, the driver was killed. A rock hit him in the head. He was bleeding. Our driver died that night. I ran out of the burning car. I just saw one person open the tank with a match and struck the man. The car blew up. So Taya and I were in the car, and the car was burning. A man now came and threw me out of the car, and my head hit the pavement. Bam. And I was unconscious, semi-conscious. And I watched Taya burning in the car. And that's all I saw. I just saw the car burning, and my brother was sitting there like this. He was already unconscious. Blood was shooting out of his head. Ow. And as soon as I came out, all these men just grabbed me. They stripped me naked, and they all put their hands in my vagina. They molested me to the point that I was bleeding. I had tears in my vagina. I had 17 stitches at Luth. This is a real story. Stop. This is traumatic for me. Daddy caused this. And Mommy told him that we must not leave. He made us leave, and he endangered every single one of us. They were crowd surfing me, throwing me up and down. I was naked, 13 years old. The last time this happened in Lagos, it was a girl in the middle of a protest. This is the reason I don't protest in Nigeria or America or Canada. It is a lifelong trauma because my father made the mistake.
Ade Phillips. Somebody went through all this. How do you expect her to be a good parent too? I don't know if she's a good parent or not. But from everything she's saying, if she can still be living this trauma at this age and still feeling this way, You are not even, please be kind of empathetic a bit. Okay? Be kind of empathetic a bit. Did you hear everything she's saying? Are you listening to her? Right in her presence. Her brother, she herself, the car got burnt. They were almost burning with the car. People came around to her. And instead, you saw what they did to her. Just because her father did not listen to reasoning. Look, this is a PTSD. She will forever blame that man for whatever she's going through. Probably because they did not take heed. They did not notice. The driver also cried. They did not take caution or take interest in what she was going through to help her out of it. They just felt it's okay. In Nigerian system, just continue like that. And they just left her to continue to move on in life just like that. Parents better learn from all of this. This is not the time to bash her. This is not the time to call her names. Please, if you have not passed through something, don't bash people. The worst you can do is to just keep quiet and watch. Please. It's her pain. It's her journey. It's her family.
What we didn't know is that the driver that took my dad to the office that morning, that it took 8 hours to come home, told my mom, he was dead. He told my mom that.
Ade, you said there are two sides to a story. I believe, and I agree 100%. Now you said you know the family very well. Am I saying that the daddy was happy that his children went through all that? That I cannot say. How we handle it, I cannot say. Did the daddy, were you there? And I want to believe probably you were young too. So you are probably basing your own story on what your daddy told you. You were not privy to to what went wrong or what transpired thereafter or how the father handled something. Or maybe after all the whole thing, the daddy just left them for their mother and he continued his political problem journey. Please. Ṣé wọ́n ló bá wọn gbélé wọn ni? Tó bá mọ̀ wọ́n kọ́.
They were being.
If you know them, ṣó bá wọn gbénú ilé ni? Ó mọ bí bàbá wọn ṣe gbé bó ṣe handle ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Nǹkan tí bàbá wọn wá sọ́ǹtà ló gbọ́ náà. Ó ní pé we should go and ask bóun ṣe tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n tọ́jú òun gangan fúnra ẹ̀ dáadáa? Did she pass through love? A child that is not trained with love, it's difficult to love others. Please.
This house, Mrs. Akere, a woman that had a child for him. At the same time, my mother was pregnant with me. They were having sex and they were together all day. They didn't go to the office. Do you think I can forgive my dad for that? Everybody knew that something